A good evening to you all, and thank you very much for joining us here on Rwanda Television News tonight. We hope you had yourselves a very productive Tuesday. Now here's a sneak peek at our edition tonight. The RPF Inkotanyi's flag bearer for July presidential elections, Paul Kagame, noted while campaigning in Kirehe district that bad politics were the root causes of the instabilities in Rwanda. The Democratic Green Party of Rwanda has taken its campaign message to the districts of Nyabihu and Rubavu in the Western Province. The independent presidential candidate Philippe Mpayimana has campaigned in the districts of Nyaruguru and Nyamagabe in Southern Province. And on the international scale, the western U.S. state of Colorado is a popular destination for international students. Once again, we're glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali, and my name is Martina Abera. The RPF Inkotanyi's flag bearer for the July presidential elections, Paul Kagame, noted while campaigning in Kirehe district that bad politics were the root causes of the instabilities in Rwanda, adding that no such politics will exist in Rwanda again. Prince Manzi has more on this report.
On the 11th day of campaigns, Paul Kagame, the incumbent president, chairman and flag bearer of RPF Inkotanyi in the July presidential elections, was grateful for crowds that joined his campaigning journey from Kirehe and Goma districts and addressed allegations of forcefully engaging citizens. If forcing drags such a number of people that are happy and enjoying what they are doing, I respond to those making up those allegations that they also try it and see the results. We have that uniqueness, unity and integrity. In the previous times, car plates in this region matched the ignorance portrait attributed to its residents. Residents tackled on how difficult were these times. Jijuka Pumbaf, which meant that we were ignorant and useless, and yet the leadership at the time did not allow residents of Kibungo to study and develop Kibungo and the country at large. On this, Paul Kagame, the RPF Inkotanyi's chairman, reiterates that no Rwandan will ever be ignorant. Rwanda, unluckily, had the ignorant leadership and politics, but now we are currently building the country out of that ignorant history. We are together. RPF and its allied political parties for these elections, we are not ignorant. We have never been ignorant. Candidate Paul Kagame asks that the youth are the future of the nation and the youth are firm. Our role as the youth is to understand where Rwanda rose from too. We have to preserve the achieved and build even more. We have many reasons to vote him. If it will be not only vote by pressing a finger, we would also press with the limbs to confirm it. We study well without divisionism. The incumbent president, chairman and flag bearer of RPF Inkotanyi in the July presidential elections, Paul Kagame, assured Eastern Province residents to fasten development based on agriculture, where 1 hectare destined for maize production should produce between 7 to 8 tons. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Prince, for that report. The Democratic Green Party of Rwanda has taken its campaign message to the districts of Nyabihu and Rubavu in the Western Province, where its presidential candidate, Frank Habineza, has continued promising greater reforms in the country's land tax laws if elected to office. We have more on this report.
The Green Party's presidential candidate and 50 parliamentary candidates started their campaign activities in Nyabihu district on Tuesday with those who came out to hear the party's message, noting on the importance of giving opportunity to all candidates to get their message out when it comes to democracy. It is clear that Rwandans now have mindsets not bound by the corrupt policies of the past that forced people to support only certain candidates. It really doesn't matter whether or not I support a certain candidate. I always come out to hear their messages because they are all constructive and beneficial to the country, so there is always much to learn from them. Still, you cannot ignore the fact that there are certain basic necessities that we need, and that is what I look for in a candidate. While in Nyabihu district, Frank Habineza stressed that during the time his party was in parliament, 70% of the issues the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda sought to address were resolved. In Rubavu district, the party campaigned at the Mahoko Trading Center, where local residents were told that if Frank Habineza is elected as president of the Republic of Rwanda and the Green Party increases its presence in parliament, a lot more advocacy will be done pertaining to the country's laws on land tax. You understand that my bill was implemented and that the land tax fell from 300 to just 80 Rwandan francs. That is something to be proud of. God gave us this land by helping our ancestors to settle here in this country, and the government appeared later to make us pay taxes for the land God gave us. The principle of the Green Party is that we must not pay the land tax. If you show confidence in us again, I will eliminate the land tax because that is our desire. This is our heritage we were given by God. As for the economy, the Green Party is promising lower interest loans from commercial banks, saying the current figures do not reflect the reality of the profits made from investment projects. There is a bank I use, so I will refrain from naming it, lest they become angry with me. But every year it celebrates the billions it makes in profits. But every time those banks make profits, we the people make losses. That is the reason we believe these inflated interest loans in Rwanda should be scrapped. I am not against banks doing business and making money, but it should not be at the people's expense. Their loan interest rates must be reduced to 12%. On Wednesday, the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda will remain in the Western Province, campaigning in the districts of Rutsiro and Karongi, focusing on justice, education and health. It believes the beneficiaries of the community-based health insurance scheme known as Mutuelle de Santé should be able to access all medicines using their coverage.
The independent presidential candidate Philippe Mpayimana has campaigned in the districts of Nyaruguru and Nyamagabe in Southern Province. A native of Nyaruguru, the candidate told local residents that if elected to the highest office in the country, he will improve the agricultural sector and improve yields tenfold. While in Nyamagabe, he spoke of patriotism. Let's take a look.
Starting in Kibeho sector of Nyaruguru district, the independent candidate promised to boost the local tourism sector as well as agriculture, noting on their economic importance to the people, and also promised to eradicate cases of what he called people being victimized. In all honesty, I want the people to be empowered such that during community meetings their ideas of local residents are truly powerful. We now have opinion leaders in our country, but I want all local residents to be opinion leaders. If we are going to have opinion leaders, then let it apply to all people. In Nyamagabe district, he told local residents that he does not wish to undo the country's achievements, only to improve on issues that he said have not been properly addressed. He also spoke on patriotism, focusing on the Rwandan diaspora. Here I focused a lot on patriotism and called on Rwandans in the diaspora to feel a part of the country and understand that as a leader I would do everything in my power to make them feel a part of this country, even giving them seats in parliament. They should be able to come here freely, and I would make sure that many passports are issued, and I would advocate that the civic education program Itorero that is implemented here in the country at the settlement level is implemented in the diaspora as well. As part of his manifesto, Mpayimana has 50 transformations he says he wants to see implemented if elected, and local residents in Nyaruguru and Nyamagabe districts were particularly interested in one of those issues, namely the timely payment of wages, with some saying they have waited 7 years for justice after a local investor made off with their money. A man named Claude Maira, who lives in the sector of Nyabimata, took my money 7 years ago, and I am not the only one. We have proof that he did not pay us, and have even taken our issue to the district administrators, but we still have not got our money. The issue Philippe Maimana raised on the need to pay people on time therefore piqued our interest, and I believe that if he is voted into office, we will get our money. What especially makes our case unfair is that the tea we planted for that man has been bringing in money for him. In Nyaruguru district, Philippe Maimana had to change the venue of his campaign after realizing that it would be difficult for some local residents to reach him, and later thanked local authorities for facilitating him to relocate it to another area where more than 300 people turned out to listen to his message.
People living with disabilities have asked that the candidate who wins a seat in parliament to represent them will do enough advocacies on their behalf to ensure that laws that protect them are truly respected. The call was made as 13 candidates vying for the seat began their campaign activities in Kigali City on Tuesday. Appearing before the voting committee, each candidate was given 10 minutes to present their manifesto and what they intend to do for people living with disabilities if they are elected to parliament. Officials from the National Council of Persons with Disabilities have noted that candidates appearing before the voting committees in different parts of the country will greatly facilitate the campaign process because it will mean that the committee members will not have to needlessly have to go where the candidates are holding their campaigns, which can be difficult for people with disabilities. The total number of members on the voting committees countrywide is more than 600, and voting for people living with disabilities will take place on the 16th of this month of July. Members of Kigali's voting committee in the category of youth representatives in the upcoming parliamentary elections have asked candidates to be characterized by Rwandan values and seek to address the problems young people in this country face. This comes in as the category 2. Campaign activities have begun ahead of the July 16th elections. Each of the candidates was given the opportunity to appear before the voting committee and present their manifesto, and in the general, all promised to fight unemployment among young people if elected, with some saying they will encourage other youth to join the agricultural sector to seek financing for projects and more. There are a total of 31 candidates, 9 of whom are female, vying for 2 seats in parliament to represent the country's youth, with members of the voting committees coming from the National Youth Council. On Wednesday, the candidates will be campaigning in the Eastern Province. On Tuesday, during the campaign activities of the Liberal Party at the Momwa site in Karongi district in Western Province, the party has announced plans to enhance service provision and the use of technology in service delivery, aiming to promote the development of the population. The activities were attended by the various residents of Karongi and Rutsiro districts and Liberal Party members. The residents joyfully welcomed the party members. The Liberal Party is campaigning for the seats in parliament in the July elections and has also endorsed Paul Kagame, the RPF Inkotanyi presidential candidate. Residents emphasized their support for the party's candidates, aligning with ongoing national development programs. Parliamentary candidates from the party stated their specific goals to promote family well-being, ensure gender equality, and fight against gender-based violence. The party's first vice president, Honorable Munyangeyo Theogene, highlighted their commitment to the rapid development of residents and the enhancement of technology use in the service provision. Campaigning activities for the party's 54 parliamentary candidates and their chosen presidential candidate, Paul Kagame, will continue in Rusizi and Nyamasheke districts. Established 33 years ago, the Liberal Party aims to promote justice and development for all citizens. On behalf of the news production team and the technical team, we would like to thank you once again for sticking with us on RTV News. My name is Martina Abera. Stay safe and have a great night.